Okay, another step I want to show you is to apply wax without having to rub out. On the front of the piece where I did basically the same thing as I did on the top, but the shine isn't as strong. I'm just going to take the paste wax itself on a cheesecloth, and what I do is I take the cheesecloth and I scoop out a chunk of wax, fold it up inside the cloth. So this way it's going to disperse nice and evenly. If you put the cloth, or the wax directly on the cheesecloth, you'll get heavy applications of wax, and it's harder to buff it out and to get a nice even coat. So now that I have it in the cloth, it's just going to kind of be saturated, and similar to how I patted it earlier, I'm just going to wipe on the wax. Again, it's like a dusting. Just wax all the surfaces that you had applied the finish to. Make sure you get into the low crevices of the moldings. And you'll go around the whole piece like this, getting a nice layer of wax. And once you do that, you will let it sit about 10 minutes or so and give it a buffing with a brush. If you ever have difficulty in some really deep crevices, I'll just use an inexpensive brush. I'll keep it in a plastic bag so I can use it in the future, but you can dip a little bit of the wax in that and just go along the areas. This way you make sure you get it in all those crevices. Now when we go about, say 10 minutes have passed and we go about buffing it, I'll again take either the wax brush or the softer horsehair shoe brush, and you're just going to buff it. It's pretty straightforward. Like buffing your shoes. I don't know if anybody still does that, wax your shoes. It's actually a very similar product. The wax they use on furniture is a little stronger. And then you can go back and start buffing the rest of the piece. Again, I'm using the softer brush for this session of buffing. And if you don't have a brush, you don't really need to worry about it. You can use just a soft cloth. I have a piece of clean cotton t-shirt, and that also will give you a nice buff out. Now, I'm not going to buff too hard also because I want to remove the wax. It's still drying. Wax takes a good 24 hours to fully release all the solvents, and you have a nice hard wax finish. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll wait probably 3 or 4 hours. Later in the day I'll come back and I'll give it another soft buffing with the cloth. The brush again is good on all the carved areas and the recesses. And once you're done with that, you really have a beautiful wax finish that should last you for many, many months, if not a year or two. In between, the only thing you want to do maybe is just dust it, and again using a similar soft cloth. Buff the surfaces every once in a while, and it'll return the shine if it starts looking a little dull. If it doesn't really respond as well as you want, just apply a little bit more paste wax in the cheesecloth method. You shouldn't be needing any steel wool. So there we have a beautiful restored finish. This oak table is probably 120 years old, and it's looking almost as good as the day it was made. So I love that we can return the beauty of these old pieces and appreciate them for what they are. Please go and visit greatfurnituretips.com if you'd like further information. It's a great website full of all kinds of information about furniture. Thank you very much.